太指着了啊，是自尔无悔。从这个之后，再不怀疑了一切的法门了。开法地藏院，他在那儿啊，在地藏院那儿啊，给人讲经说法。后唐天成3年，五子那一年秋天，是积数日啊，就是啊，有病了很多天，安坐告终了。以后啊，就解家父座啊，那么就圆寂了。荼毗收舍利，荼毗呀，就是把它用火烧了，叫荼毗。荼毗之后，就是得到很多舍利。塔于院西隅，在这个地藏院的西南边，在那给造个塔，是塔院啊，给他皇帝封这个塔啊，叫真应禅师，就是叫真应禅师，也叫真应塔。赞曰：施主诈翻呢，说是啊，一叠把竹啊，走的不对，把这个天地都给炸翻了啊！唯心三界，这个三界知识都不出于念心啊，年初当阳啊，就是啊，把这个拿出来了，年初就是把它拿出来了啊，正在当阳，当阳就是那个好像太阳晒的地方啊，就是恰到好处，拿出来正在那好处，那个时候，纵横无碍，这个时候啊，就纵横，愿意往东走往东走，愿意往西走往西走，愿意往南走往南走，愿意往北走往北走，啊，横竖啊都是在三界里头啊，没有障碍了。播饭斋田呢，他也不这个不分外吃求，就吃的很淡薄的这个饭啊，很淡薄这个饭呢。斋田那在那儿种田，就是啊，在那儿讲说佛法呀，来也就好像种田似的。这个大家在大家里头，谁要是发菩提心呢，就像这个田生出谷来了是，诸方养戴啊，各方的人呢都对他很仰望的，很爱戴的，所有这个道场里边的人呢，对他都很羡慕的，很佩服的。地藏古佛呀，这好像也就是在地藏院呢，等于地藏古佛一样的光明犹在呀。这个地藏古佛的光明呢，现在还没有大放光明了。地藏院呢，叫桂琛禅师。
The 41st generation, the Chan Master Guisan of Dizang Yuan, Dizang Monastery, which is the monastery established. And so the master is from Changshan, which is a place in Fujian, the district of Changshan, Long Mountain. And he was a son of the Li family. His father was named Li. And so he went to Cang to pay his respects and also to investigate teaching at Xuanxia, and that's the patriarch we talked about yesterday. That was the, and so he went there to investigate. And so the patriarch Xuanxia asked him a question. He was there. He said, "三界惟心," he said, the three realms are only the mind. He says, 汝作么生会, you make what, you produce what kind of understanding? How do you understand this? He said the three realms, the desire realm, the form realm, the formless realm, that's all created existence. He says it's only the mind. How do you understand this? How would you explain this? That the three realms are just the mind. How would you explain it? That's what the Sheng Hui means. How would you explain it? How do you understand it? And at that time, the master, and this refers to the master, the patriarch we're talking about today, he pointed at a chair. He just pointed at a chair that people sit down in. He just pointed at the chair, and he said, the master pointed at a chair, and he said,和尚, the abbot or the high master calls, what would the master call this? 唤者, call this, 做什么? What would you say this chair is? He said. He pointed at a chair and he said, what would you say that this is? This is a chair, what would you say it is? And the chair is obviously just a chair, and look at this, he's asking such a question. He asked him, what would you call this? And the patriarch, the abbot of the monastery, Chuan Sha, said, he said it's a chair. He just said it's a chair. So then the master said, and the master, every time we use this word master, remember it's the student in this case. It's the patriarch Guisen who's paying his respects. He's going to Tan, he's paying his respects to an older patriarch, Xuan Sha. And so now he in reply, he says, this is the student in reply, he says, he says, the abbot doesn't understand that the three realms are only the mind. He says, you also don't understand the three realms are just the mind. So the patriarch Xuan Sha then replied, the Wei Sen said, you also don't understand that the three realms are only the mind. And so then the patriarch replied, if I were to name this, I would say it's made out of bamboo wood. I'd say that this, if I were to speak about this chair, I'd say it's made out of bamboo. It's made out of wood and bamboo. It's not that it's made out of wood and bamboo. I would just say that it's wood and bamboo. I would say that I'd say that this is wood and bamboo. It's not a chair, it's just wood and bamboo. What would you say it is? You call it what? What would you call it? The master said, Guisen also would call it bamboo and wood. And so the patriarch, Xuan Sha, turned the question around. He said, okay, I don't call it a chair, I call it bamboo wood. Now what do you call it? This is called daji feng. This is called verbal combat. Just ask each other questions back and forth. So he said, okay, what would you call that? Said, I'd also call it bamboo and wood. It's Guisen. He replied, the patriarch said, okay, I'll call it not a chair, I'll call it bamboo wood. What will you call it? He said, I'll also call it bamboo wood. And so then Xuan Sha, the patriarch, said, exhausting the great earth, looking everywhere for one person who understands the Buddha Dharma. A person who understands the Buddha Dharma. You can't find him. He says you look all over the great earth trying to find somebody who understands the Buddha Dharma, and you can't find a single person.
找不着了。那么这是怎么个意思呢？
What is the meaning here?
就是说，他叫这个，他也叫这个，这个都是人云亦云。
And so, what does it mean? It's that he called it bamboo wood, and so then he called it a chair, and then the patriarch called it a chair, and they called it bamboo wood, and then he just followed him and called it bamboo wood. This is just one person just repeating another person, just he just imitating him, repeating after him. Right?
你没有真明白。
So it's just to say that he didn't truly understand. He just was repeating the same thing the patriarch said.
是自而无悔。这个。
And so from this, the master, the master Guisen, himself, from this, Dangarjusher at that time was without any doubts.
桂琛呢，禅师从听过这个玄沙这么说尽大地虚空啊。 你要再找一个明白佛法的人，也不可能找不着的。
And so from this, just from hearing the patriarch Xuanshao saying, looking all over the great earth for one who understands the Buddha Dharma, and you can't find a single person. Just from this statement, when he heard that, then all of a sudden he didn't have any more doubts.
那么就是不要太多了，不要找那么太造作，太执着了，是自而。
Which is just to say, you don't have to do too much. You don't have to be too imaginative. You don't have to force the idea too much.
无悔。从这个之后，再不怀疑呢，这个一切的法门了。
And so from this point, he didn't have any doubts about all of the different Dharma doors.
开法地藏院。
And so then later on, he opened the Dharma. He started teaching the Dharma at Dizang Yuan, the first store monastery.
他在那儿在地藏院那儿给人讲经说法。
At Dizang Yuan, he spoke the Dharma and explained the sutras for people.
后唐天成3年，戊子那一年秋年是几数日啊？就是有病了很多天，安坐告终了，以后就解家父咒就圆寂了。
And so, afterwards, in the Tang Dynasty, in the 3rd year of the reign period Tiancheng, in that reign period, in the year Wuzi, just all a way of, this is a way of dating, in the autumn, he manifested a sickness for several days. He was sick for quite a while. He manifested the sickness, and after a while, he manifested for sickness for several days, and then he anzuo, he peacefully sat, which means he sat in full lotus, and he gaozhong, he said goodbye, and at the end, in other words, he said his last goodbyes. He completed the stillness.
涂皮收舍利，涂皮就是把它用火烧了，这叫涂皮。涂皮之后，就得到很多舍利。
And so tupi is a Sanskrit term that means to cremate. So his body was cremated and received, or they collected shirli, a lot of sharira. Right after his body was cremated.
法御院西宇，在这个地藏院的西南边，在那儿被造个塔。
And the pagoda was in the monastery's shiyu, which means in the corner, in the western corner, the southwestern corner, his pagoda was built.
是塔院。
And the emperor gave him a posthumous title. That's the posthumous title of the pagoda is.
皇帝封这个塔叫真因禅师。
And so the emperor built the pagoda and named it, and the name was Zhenying, the true response, the Chan master true response, Zhenying, and that's the posthumous title that was given to the master, and also the title that was the name that was given to the pagoda.
真因禅师也叫真因塔，赞曰。
Phrase that was written, he says.
施主大幡呐，说是一劫被族走的不对，把这个天地都给炸翻了。
And so it says he lost his footing, and his step to step down and fan, to turn over. So when he lost his footing, lost his steps, heaven and earth was turned over. That's what that means.
唯心三界，这个三界只是它不出一念心。
And only the mind are these three realms. The three realms are not apart from a single thought of the mind. One, the ongoing thought, single thought of the mind is just the three realms.
念出当阳了，就是把这个拿出来了，念出就是。
He brought forth, he held forth, he 念出 to bring down forth.
拿出来了，正在当阳，当阳就是那个好像太阳晒的地方。
It's like the yang, the sun, and he brought it out into the sun. But what this means is it was exactly right. What he brought forth and disclosed right on.
就是恰到好处。
Just right on.
正在好处，那个时候。
Right at the exact right place and right at the exact right time.
纵横外，这个时候。
Horizontally and vertically, there are no obstructions. That just means vastly, anywhere you go in any direction.
纵横，愿意往东走，往东走；愿意往西走，往西走；愿意往南走，往南走；愿意往北走，往北走。
Whether you want to go north and go northward, or east and go eastward, south go southward, west go westward, no matter which direction you go in.
横竖都是在三界里头。
Anywhere throughout the Sanje, the three realms, there were no obstructions.
障碍了，不犯灾田呢，他也不不分外吃酒，就吃的很淡薄的这个饭。
And so he ate very plain food. Wolfan, everything was very ample, just sufficient. It didn't make any difference.
很淡薄这个饭呢，栽田。
And he planted the fields.
在那儿种田。
So he planted his own fields, and he ate his own food.
在那儿讲说佛法。
This has another meaning, which is that he spoke the Dharma and taught living beings.
也就好像种田似的。
And this lecturing the Dharma and teaching people is just like planting the field.
这个大家里头谁要是发菩提心呢？就像这个田生出来生。
And in the assembly which he taught, whoever brought forth the Bodhi mind, it's just like.
在大家里头谁要是发菩提心呢？就像这个田生出来生。
And in the assembly which he taught, whoever brought forth the Bodhi mind, it's just like a sprout coming up in the fields that he had planted.
不方养大，各方的人呢都对他很仰望的。
And from all directions, people looked up to him with praise, respect. So everybody throughout the whole area was very respectful of him.
所有这个道场里边的人呢，对他都很羡慕的。
All the people that knew about him in all the monasteries had especially great respect for him.
佩服的。
Really looked up to him and really respected him.
地藏古佛呀，这好像也就是在地藏院呢，等于地藏古佛一样的。
And in the Dizang monastery, the Earth-stored monastery, he was just like the ancient Buddha Dizang.
光明犹在啊。
And his light, Guangming, his light still shines to the present. His light still is existent.
这个地藏古佛的光明呢，现在还又大放光明了。
And so we can say that this the light of the ancient Buddha Earth store still shines.
三界唯心作和会，以子竹木结假名，如意如此离寂动，我思路觉显言说，虚空大地无知己，微尘刹海显因时，真应禅师光电照，寺中徒弟常追随。这是说这个三界唯心做和会，你怎么样想法？你想这个三界唯心倒是对不对？你明白不明白？你要明白怎么叫三界唯心啊？怎么叫这个一切唯心造？ 说饶人欲了知，三世一切佛，因观法界性，一切唯心造。怎么叫一个唯心造？唯心造造什么？所以做和会，椅子、竹木皆假名。这个椅子也是个假名，这个竹子和木头都是个假名，没有一个真实的体。那么为什么叫这个名字呢？就是众生给他命这么个名，其实他是不是叫这个名字，这都是在不可说之数的。所以说皆假名，都是假的。咱们当初这个人这个名字要不叫人本来要是一开始也就是说叫狗。那么现在呀，你这个人的时候，一开始给他起的名字叫狗，现在人也都那么叫了，也就不知道这是骂人了。因为现在因为这个名字都起一定了，你要是叫他一个别的名字，人就不高兴了，就发脾气了，说你骂我，为什么呢？那个名呢，定那儿了，这个人都生出一种执着了。要是一开始什么名字也没有，你给他叫什么？好像生个小孩子，你给他叫个小猫，他就是小猫；叫个小狗，他就狗了，长大了人家狗仔，他也不知道是骂他，猫仔他也不知道骂他，这就是这么，所以都叫假名。汝亦入此，你的入世，你的心入世，我的心也入世离嫉妒应该离开这个执着和嫉妒想一想它是什么叫什么，这叫嫉妒我思路绝，我这个思想的路都断了，没有了，没有真正知己的，微尘刹海，少因识，也没有一个知音，也没有一个认识的，都没有。真因禅师光遍照，这个真因禅师他能做疾风中的映柱，烈火内的精金，在人中做人中的龙象天上的星星月亮，所以光遍照，这个他的光明遍照四众就比丘、比丘尼、优婆塞、优婆夷，徒弟他的徒弟常追随，当时常常都跟着他学佛法。那么我讲的对不对呀？你们各位来共同加一个研究。我方才说不叫你们笑，不叫你们批评，这是不是的。你们谁愿意笑也可以，愿意批评也可以，那么知识不可以哭的。